Here we are once more. Bum ba dum bum bum ba da dum bum ba da bum bum. I'm gonna use my normal Dragon Quest name. There we go. I'm very happy with the name. English. Yes. I want to go on the hardest difficulty, and I don't want to ever go down to any other difficulty. Not even to grind.
Hero, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, don't grovel. One thing I can't stand is people groveling.
It may already be too late. Nevertheless, perhaps you, Scion of Erdrick, might prevail. The fate of the world rests with you.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, just taking a nap in the woods. Just roughing it as you would. Dang. We find ourselves surrounded. Captain, all is surely lost. We cannot permit it to be. For should we fall, who shall remain to keep the fiends from our kith and kin? Way through. Even with sounds. Thou art of the line of mighty Erdrick. And a voice heard in a dream did truly tell thee to make for Tantagel.
Good idea, O Lord. Of course it's a good idea. Behold, Arthur.
Nonsense. Such talk is the stuff of fairy tales. Hold thy tongue. Thou Idrests, our deliverer. Allow us to escort thee there hence. 'Tis the very least that we can do. Behold, yonder lieth fair Tantagel, and beyond it, that accursed isle, upon which standeth the dwelling place of that foul demon, who did appear as if from nowhere, to lead the fiends against us. I do love the imagery of two castles standing off with each other.
Well met, traveller. It seemeth thou art a warrior of great skill. We have long awaited the coming of one such as thee. The captain did relate to me the tale of how thou didst best a whole horde of fiends single-handedly, and did thereby deliver he and his comrades from peril. And not only this...
You know, it was nothing.
Thou art of the bloodline of mighty Erdrick. Is this true? Then thou knowest, of course, the legend of thine ancestors' deeds.
No, I don't.
Truly? 'Tis a story so widely known that I had imagined not a single soul in our world to be ignorant of it.
Fear not, friend. This is no attempt to catch thee in a lie. As all here are no doubt aware, in days of yore thy revered ancestor did receive of the almighty goddess the sphere of light, and by its power was our world rid of the monstrous menace that beset it. Yet the tales make no mention of any of the heroes' bloodline having survived to the present day. Thou truly believest it to be so? That thou art of the line of Erdrick?
I mean, look at my blue-clad armor.
Praise be! These are glad tidings indeed. But possessest thou proof, perhaps, of this claim? Or are we to believe it based solely on a voice heard in a dream?
I suppose I could get you some sort of proof. I don't have any at the moment. What would be suitable?
Thou plainly wearest thy heart on thy sleeve, young man. 'Tis an endearing trait indeed. Mine own line is one intimately entwined with that of the hero of legend. And according to the tales passed down among us, the hero who laid low the lord of the underworld was also guided by a voice heard in dreams.
That's true.
Majesty, please. It will not do to share the secrets of the royal line so freely.
Calm
Everyone
thyself.
distrusts me in this
Though
game.
we lack for proof, I would place my faith in this youngster nonetheless.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Better that than lose all hope for the salvation of our benighted realm.
Yes, Majesty.
Now, young hero, thou too wouldst know the truth of thy bloodline, wouldst thou not? Then hie thee to the cave that doth bear thine ancestors' title, and to the Shrine of Rain.
Okay.
Return to me with what thou findest there. This shall be thy reward for aiding my guardsmen. Go forth, brave hero, and may the goddess guide thee.
Thank you, Your Majesty. We will not disappoint. Ooh. Thank you, Your Majesty. Alright, so let's see what we got in our toolkit right off the bat. Let's not, Okay, so we have a full set of leather armor and a copper sword, so we are incredibly well equipped. Far be it from me to question His Majesty's wisdom in grasping the threads of hope, however slender when it presenteth itself. Pray, do as he hath asked of thee. His Majesty hath suffered much, and I would not see his hopes dashed once more. So now we have a medicinal herb here, as well as a seed of magic. The waves of evil that emanate from that accursed isle grow greater with each passing day, which signifieth but one thing: the Dragon Lord's power too groweth greater. Okay, so we have a couple of different items that we can get here. So coming down this way, didst thou hear the rumors? They speak of a town laid ruined by marauding monsters. I must confess to being somewhat afraid. As well, we can get our first upgraded piece of equipment. Bring us up to 31 defense there. Oh, Princess Gwaelin. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's step foot onto the map. Okay, so now, as you can see, we just got our first quest. The quest begins. And now our first goal is going to be to loot and level up. Honestly, most enemies are super easy early on. Nice, more seeds. Should probably check to see exactly how many enemies there are. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 enemies in total. So far, it seems like we've already encountered 3 of them, being the Draki, the Ghost, and the Slime. Oh, I guess we also encountered the She-Slime, didn't we? Okay. We got some secret spots. Seed of Strength there. And that's 122 gold. There's one more. Right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna try and basically go far east. Yeah, there we go. I used to really worry about stat seeds and how much they were giving me. But I learned that 1, it's way more fun to just let fate kind of take its course. And second, it's fairly easy to farm out stat seeds in this game. Okay, so this is a new one, the Rat Scowl. Again, there's really no need to strategize or do almost anything in this section because everything's so easy, it's gonna die in a couple hits. Hard to see Medicinal Herb hiding there. Okay, there goes the Putrefido. But see, as you can see, we're already level 6. Like, we're killing it in terms of the level. Everything's going up very, very quickly. And we get the first two tools in our toolkit. I'm going to equip that there. So we have Sizz, Snooze, and Heal. Very nice, but we also have Cop Out, Flame Slash, and Cattle Prod. So we have 3 spells and 3 special attacks. As you can see right here, this is our first shrine of the game. Oh, it's not a shrine, this is the Wayfarer's Chapel. Beeline my way to the Shrine of Rain and then go do Erdrick Hollow. That's always a choice. So as you can see there, 2 more. And just over here is the place that I truly believe is the most likely location of the hero's hometown. The Forgotten Ruins, right here. Okay, so as you can see, there is a gentleman over there. And we get our first mini-medal of the game. Isn't that crazy? I love the fact that they added mini-medals in this game. It really goes the distance. Small indeed. I am, of course, Zalen, the descendant of Galen. He of the golden voice, the storied bard of legend. But I mean not to rest on the laurels of mine ancestor, virtuoso though he was. I mean to strike out on my own, to seek out new veins of song as yet unmined. Though the climb I face is an uphill one, 'tis said that all Alefgard did shed a tear at the beauty of my forebear's fabled voice. Can such tales truly be based in fact? Perhaps. Can such feats be bettered? Only time will tell. Alas, I find myself somewhat uninspired of late. Though I once reveled in rebellion, in subverting that for which Galen was so well loved, I tread that path no longer. I seek inspiration instead in the opposite, in following his footsteps and those of the mighty Erdrick, with whom he was so famously firm friends. And in the course of said following, I have heard quite the rumor. It seemeth that there is a place somewhere in Alefgard deeply connected to the hero of old, inextricably and deeply tied to Erdrick's legend. And so, I journey in search after it. Alas, I am no closer to finding it than when I first set out. That thou art come here to this place does surely signify that thou art, oh man, well-travelled, good one of each. Shouldst thou happen across a place on thy travels, please inform me of it. My wanderings too take me hither and yon. Our paths will surely cross again. Until then, friend, adieu. Nice, so we got some thorn whips. The thorn whip is at least much better, at the very least. Alright. Alright, so now we can push east. And up at this bridge, we're gonna get a cutscene. And I'm just sizzing the enemies here because of the fact that because I'm dazzled, it's easier to get about that way. So as we come through here, we can find an injured soldier.
But
Oops.
she was seen. The fiends did spirit her away across the swampland south of Col. I fear I can endure no longer. We meet again, friend. But what is this? This man is a soldier of Tantagel.
He hath breathed his last. His wounds are truly terrible to behold.
Is this thy doing?
A message, thou sayest? The princess was taken across the swampland south of Col.
Unfortunately, yes.
Then we must go after her with all haste. Come, what are we waiting for?
But the party sent in search of the princess was comprised of our finest soldiers. Surely we will simply meet the same fate.
If thou art afraid, then away with thee homeward, coward. I will go to the princess's rescue, though I go entirely alone.
I like this girl's jib. She's a little fiery.
Cannot allow our comrades' deaths to have been in vain. We shall make for the swampland. You will remain here and see that this man is granted the burial he deserveth. Hie you thence to the castle and report on all that hath occurred here. Friend, I would ask a boon of thee also. News of these events will only stir discord among the people. I prithee, keep thy counsel. I understand that His Majesty had tasked thee with learning more of the hero of legend. I wish thee luck in thy quest. Now,
You okay, Captain?
Captain, canst thou continue?
Do not fret on my account. We have work to do. Come.
Alright, let's continue eastward. I love the look of the ocean. Okay, so here we are on the eastern continent. We finally left our original. So now we can head upwards. Okay, so we can get ourselves another copper sword, some wayfarer's clothes, and the pouch of musk. So these guys are indeed weak against fire, but we're pretty strong at this point, so I didn't feel the need to crack out any magic. We're already at level 9. Okay, so we got a dragon scale, which I suppose could give us some good bang for our buck in terms of defense right now. And then this next section, we essentially have two ways that we can go. East to Call, or west to the Shrine of Rain. Now, it just seems to me to be silly to not stop in at Call, so I think we're gonna head there right now. Ooh. Yeah, no, that hardwood hat is actually crazy good. I think that scorpion might have been brand new. Okay, so we can enter into the town of Call here. And Call has a couple of interesting things. Brave one of each, bearer of the blood of Erdrick, hero of legend. Know that thy weapon will not serve to vanquish the Dragon Lord. Do you see this? This is the type of faith that I want people to have in me. The sword of thine ancestor remaineth still in this land. Seek it out, and let it cleanse our realm of evil once more. Hast thou set foot upon the island amidst the lake on the landmass of the south of this place? Thou hast, but 'tis said that that land is rife with beasts of incomparable ferocity. Mayhap thou art mightier than thou seemest. Lo, art thou fair indeed? Wilt thou sample the sensual puff for a mere 20 gold? Then let the ritual begin. Well, art thou not alive with pleasure? And with that, the ritual is ended, and thy puffy, fluffy-fleshed hot spring egg awaiteth thy delectation. Nowhere else shalt thou sample such delectable softness, nor such richness of flavor. Thou must savor every bite. Yes, now we just need to go far west, and we will arrive at our destination. Get the Dracula, he'll probably decelerate. Okay, just as useless, if not more useless. Sick. That was a nice find, actually. Always bag of laughs first. Always, always, always. Okay, so we're almost done the first section. We found the first area here. Let's ignore him, though, as there is things to do. Just over here is 2 maps. Not maps. Sorry, 2 treasures. You can get yourself a prayer ring there, and then finally, to the far east, is a crack scroll. And gonna grab that crack scroll. Beautiful. I might as well teach myself that immediately. And we earn my first scroll. Absolutely brilliant. So it's impossible to go up in the tower, but we can come talk to this gent right here. Begone from here. I would speak with no one. The king of Tantagel told thee of this place, and thy name is one of each, I see. Then I cannot very well refuse thee. The royal line of that nation numbers amongst our closest allies in the preservation of the legacy of the hero of legend. It is we sages' duty to test those who would take on the hero's mantle, and should they prove themselves worthy, pass on to them these treasures. Unto the one who returneth to us the lyre of ire, a treasure long lost since, shall I bestow the staff of rain. Thus was it decided, and thus shall it be, should that day ever come. Alas, I doubt that it will. Why, thou askest? For the forces of darkness have taken possession of the sphere of light. And as the legends have it, mighty Erdrick could not have laid low the great evil without the sphere's aid. If the fiends now possess it, there is little hope for any of us. And I cannot very well allow thee to go forth, knowing full well that thou standest not the faintest chance, and shall surely be defeated. Oh, you do not have enough faith in me. I'm gonna get that sphere back. I'm gonna conquer this dragon lord. Lo, the rain doth fall, and soon enough the sun too shall fade. Thou must needs abide here with me this night.
Hear me. Can you hear me? You must meet with Rubis, spirit of the land. With her protection, you might stand against the darkness. Seek out a means of summoning her, of bringing her back to us. The fairies will be able to help you, as will of Tantagel. Must find them.
So, it's almost like the fairy could break through to talk to us because we're in the tower. And it's interesting that it took us essentially to, it's really interesting that she essentially took us to the Weirdwood. Okay, so this is the Tower of Worship, where they communed with the goddess. Long ago, mighty Erdrick did stand atop this tower, and there did receive her blessing. Thence did the hero of legend go forth and vanquish the great evil. Alas, in time the fairies did dwindle and fade, and the means of summoning Lady Rubis was lost to us. Oh. Yet it is not quite time to abandon all hope. For should her aid be thine, thou might yet stand against the evil that threateneth thus, even though it wieldeth the sphere of light. One of each, I would have thee prove to me thy strength. Summon Lady Rubis, and I will recognize thee as a true hero. Then, and only then, shall the staff of rain be thine. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to immediately use a Chimera Wing, and I'm going to go all the way out to Tantagel. Okay, so we'll come all the way up here. The lake is right there. Now, the prestigitators is nice. The I can't say that. Prestigitators are actually quite good because they can drop magic water. Perfect. And here is the final thing. As you can see, very useless, but it's some equipment that we can sell at the very least. And we're going to enter into Galen Home. Now, Galen Home doesn't actually have a whole lot to explore, but there is some. So, first things first, down here in the ocean or beach area, we can get 2 pots. In the inn here, we can get ourselves some leather armor. Get ourselves a pot lid there, and then just down in this house is safe passage scroll, including 122 gold. Very useful. Very, very useful. That essentially lets you walk over any terrain that would typically hurt you. You're now able to go unconquered. Beautiful. So we can come in here, and this secret spot does not have a crazy amount of items. 3 in total. Super nice as that is. Nice. What's crazy about this game is that the levels are so front-loaded in that you can usually beat this game by level 35, 40, max. Very nice. We are very rich right now. Yeah, we're almost at 4,000 already. What's nice is you don't have to buy so much in this game, which means that you can really rack up the gold. So now we're going to enter into a cave here called the Craggy Cave. Now, this is a fairly challenging cave first thing in the game, but there's some really incredibly good stuff for us in here. Now, just over here is quite possibly one of the best equipment pieces in the whole game. This is going to carry us very far in this game. A boomerang. Now, it's a little bit worse than the Thorn Whip, but it can actually hit all enemies on the field, no matter how many there are. Okay, the iron axe is really nice. Equipment bag. I'm going to go over to the iron axe. I'm actually going to take it out. I'm not going to equip it now, but it's there for when we need it. Right here is a treasure chest for the nose for treasure scroll. This is quite possibly one of the best things in the game. Okay, that's all we need to get in here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go straight to Erdrick's Hollow. I'm going to quick save it, and we are going to very likely end for the day. And we get to meet 4 new characters. Whew. At last we arrive at Erdrick's Hollow. 'Twas no easy feat to reach it. Our onward journey will be a little easier, I fear. The hero's grave lieth in the cavern's deepest reaches, or so the legends tell. Let us forget this folly and return homewards. We barely made it thus far in one piece. Do we really mean to dive headlong into further danger? Come, friends. Now is not the time to lose heart. Together there is no hardship that we might not overcome. Aye, gird up thy loins. Here is where our adventure truly begins. Thou art a warrior, it seemeth. Seekest thou too the grave of the hero of legend? Just as I thought. When once again the fiends appear, the hero's tomb retire, therein the hero's power for thine own self to acquire. Thou wert led here by the old adage, wert thou not? As were we. Which maketh us rivals. This being so, allow me to proffer a piece of advice. Look up behind thee! Quickly, we must not allow him to reach the grave before us. Must we really resort to such underhanded means? How else is our esteemed rival to learn that a true hero must learn to see through such simple ruses? Come! He's like, so I have a rival, huh? Huh. That's neat. Okay. This is Erdrick's Hollow, and as I've been going through this game, I've been trying to notice the architecture. Because Yuji Horii clearly utilizes architecture. So this is all very, very plain brickwork, you would say. This looks like it could have come from our Middle Ages easily. Stone pillars. All the rocks in the center part are very strange. I don't quite understand that. Unless that's to say that they've carved out paths in the mountain, and that's just the mountain there. That being said, the fact that Erdrick's tomb is carved out of a mountain and placed to the northwest of the greatest city in the world shows the absolute vital importance of this hero of the realm. Nice, we got ourselves another divine dagger. That's pretty much how every encounter is going to go for a little bit. Do you know why? Because I'm Erdrick. Ooh. Oh, no, we can't use that. But it was still intriguing. So we're pretty much done exploring the hollow already. That's really pretty. I love that, how there's like a little bit of light cracking through the top of the mountains. Ah, if it isn't our would-be Erdrick. Frightened? Me? Nonsense. I am merely resting. I'm sure. There's no terror. Beautiful. Ooh, magic water is always useful. And that was some coins. Thou scarest me not, slime. Have at thee! Sorry. Just like me to go and fall asleep with my eyes open. I'm not a bad slime. Really. I just like a midday snooze now and again. Look, I actually think this is a great reference to Dragon Quest III with friendly monsters. Ooh, is our second? Oh my goodness. That's our 9th. we are 1/4 done the mini medal hunt already in the 2nd episode. You know, Lushu, my puppy's sitting beside me sulking. If you get your ball, we can play with your toy. Just because I'm recording doesn't mean I can't play with you. Yeah, where's your toy? Ooh, we got ourselves a Chimera Wing. That will be useless from now on. Seems how we have Zoom. That's actually really cool, because that gives the appearance that this is a much greater cavern. And those pillars would literally be there to actually hold up the mountain structure itself. Now, it is in somewhat bad repair in some places, but it's not awful, especially since monsters are running around. So you could easily say that the monsters would be the cause of some of the destruction that we see. And if this game takes place roughly 100 to 150 years after the original hero's journey, which I believe it does, then what we can see is that all this undergrowth makes perfect sense. Now, I'm almost certain that that's meant to be the sphere of light on either side. Same with up there. Aw, somebody has visited his grave recently. Do you know what's really interesting to me? Do you notice how that grave actually, in a way, looks like a bird? With the beak at the top, the circle representing the body, the two wings obviously representing the wings, but then the tail feathers at the bottom coming down. And that coming down sort of feels like rain, which we already know from the previous episode that the Shrine of Rain is a place of worship for the Lady Rubis. So we're seeing how this worship of the Lady Rubis is symbolically in iconography linked up with the worship of Ramia. I am Erdrick. Heed me well, bearer of my blood, heir to my destiny. If you would reach the evil island visible from Tantagel's shores, you will require the 3 sacred artifacts. Gather them, and you may yet cross to that accursed isle and destroy the source of all evil, as I too did so long ago. Before my passing, I entrusted the 3 objects to 3 great sages. If the fates have been kind, their descendants guard them still. When evil rules the ill-starred isle once more, gather the hallowed triad and strike a blow for the cause of light. No doubt, those of the line of the sages await you somewhere in this world. Seek them out. The journey before you is a perilous one indeed. To that end, let me impart to you my greatest secret. Halt! Thou shalt not claim the hero's power. 'Twill be ours and no others. At last, we have found it. Mighty Erdrick's grave. And on it, his very own words. Let us see. Though the darkness grows strong, the light is ever stronger. Take courage in it, and go forth. For this is the greatest power of the hero. Unwavering courage in the face of seemingly insurmountable hardships. Courage? That is all it saith. Come, there must be more. The location of a mighty sword, or the secret of a legendary magic. There is not. Curse it all! So the ancient adage was naught but a lie. No, don't think about it like that. I was about... Thank you, priest in training coming in. Perhaps not. After all, what enabled us to prevail thus far, if not courage? Well, courage and just a little underhandedness. Forgive us. In our desperation for the hero's power, we did not comport ourselves as we perhaps should have done. Please understand, 'tis the desire for vengeance that driveth us so. Our village was... The fiends attacked, and precious little remains now. Now, for the keen of eye, you'll notice we've already visited this. Yet it is as I feared. 'Tis not the place of the likes of us to claim the might of heroes. Come, let us return home. But if the fiends are not stopped, the evil will engulf the world. Surely someone must stand against them, as mighty Erdrick once did. I like them. I really like them. I'm kind of surprised there's not some... How dare you taint the grave of my ancestor? Get out of here. Some monsters. They just have no manners. Ah, yes, the superpower that they do not have. Super sight. Blood of my blood, child of my children. Seek out the sphere of light, by whose power the darkness might be banished, and the fiends repelled. I have entrusted it to the care of the King of Tantagel. Join forces with whomever of his line now sits upon the throne, and see that its blessing is brought to bear. For if it is lost, the world will be plunged into darkness once more. Treasure it, for it shall be your salvation. So, I love how they've structured this first part of the game. The first part of the game really has your hero appearing out of nowhere, very Final Fantasy I Dungeons & Dragons style, that asks you to create your own backstory. Then you come to the King of Tantagel with a huge claim saying that somebody has guided us to you to become the savior of the realm. Then we go out on a quest to learn more about the realm, learn more about the hero Erdrick, and then finally to learn about the Sphere of Light. Now, whichever one of the two main quests that you follow first, either Erdrick's Hollow or the Shrine of Rain, you will learn about the Sphere of Light. Now, in my opinion, the game actually works better if you go to the Shrine of Rain second, because that's when you can learn about Princess Gwaelin going missing, and then you can finally learn about how the Sphere of Light was taken by the Dragon Lord. And this sets up the main conflict. So it's kind of cool in that the inciting incident of the story is something that you need to go and learn about. Ah, King Lorik the 16th. It's good to see you, my man. And Chancellor. One of each. Thou art returned to us. And what hast thou learned? Thou wishes to know if the rumors are true, that the Sphere of Light, which Adric himself did give unto us, hath been stolen. What errant nonsense is this? Whence did such groundless tittle-tattle originate? Please, good Chancellor, our friend here hath clearly done as he promised he would, and sought out knowledge of mighty Erdrick. The least we might do is share the truth in return. Dude, I need to stop saying Erdrick and start saying Erdrick. I know that they say Erdrick. Very well. Far be it from me to contradict thee, Majesty. The rumors are indeed true. The forces of evil have taken possession of the sphere. That it was our sacred duty to protect. And thus have fiends proliferated and poisoned swampland and more besides. What of the princess, thou askest? So thou didst meet with the party sent to retrieve her. Then perhaps it is best that I tell all from the beginning. Oh, thank you, Sir Benevolent King. You're way better than the last king I spoke to, back in Dragon Quest XI. My beloved daughter is blessed with a great power. She is able to hear the voice of Almighty Rubus. Now, I actually have heard an interesting theory concerning this. Because why? Like, as far as we know, we don't know of any human that has real sensitivity to hear the goddess Rubus. Even Erdrick back in Dragon Quest III needs to go to the fairies to contact Rubus. So why would Gwaelin have the ability to naturally communicate with her as if she is a supernatural being herself? And therein lies the question. What if Rubus, after Erdrick was trapped in Alifgard, what if Rubus remained with Erdrick and remained in Tantagel, or in Alifgard, and mated with Erdrick? And it was Erdrick and Rubus's children which carried on the lineage of heroes. And that's perhaps why not so many people know about us. If this is true, that would mean that the reason why Gwaelin can hear Rubus's voice is because she is actually a distant descendant of the goddess Rubus. Very similar to how Zelda is a literal descendant of Hylia. And so, it came to pass that several months since, this is such a sick way to end Act 1 of this game, she did receive a warning from the spirit of the land herself.
Gwaelin, Princess of Tantagel. It is to you, and only you, that I might speak. I am Rubus, mother to the land of Alifgard. And I hereby entrust to you a message. a foretelling of how this world might be saved. Listen well. A great darkness threatens Alefgard. Take the sphere of light in hand and seek out a place of safety. In time, one will come to you, a youth who bears the blood of Erdrick, hero among heroes. Impart to him this message that I entrust to you. Guide him on his quest. Bid him go.
It was at just that time that the fiends had begun to appear, and seemed certain to greatly trouble the land. And thus, I chose to trust in the word of Almighty Rubus, and did instruct Gwaelin to reveal the message with which she had been entrusted to none but the hero himself. Then I did dispatch her, along with a troop of my best soldiers, to the Shrine of Rain. I had hoped that the sooner I sent her away, the safer she might be. Alas,
Princess, we have come far and fast. Perhaps it would be better if we rested.
We need not do so for my sake. Come, let us continue onward.
she's so spunky.
What is this power I sense? Thou bearest the sphere of light, dost thou not? Princess Gwaelin of Tantagel?
Fiends! Protect the princess!
Oh my gosh, that's awful. Also, look at the Dragon Lord versus those normal monsters. He is probably 10 feet tall.
Who art thou, rogue?
I am the Dragon Lord, Master of Masters, King of Kings.
King of kings? Thou art naught but a monster!
Know this, fair princess. The monster thou seest before thee is the true ruler of this world. All others are naught but pretenders. The sphere thou carriest is mine by right, and thou wilt return it to me.
'Tis the birthright of he who beareth the blood of heroes, and I shall relinquish it to no other.
She is so spunky.
So Rubus watcheth over thee. Then let us see whose power is the greater. Victory is mine. Perhaps thou might consider joining me. 'Twill be a sight worth seeing, I assure thee.
Never! A hero shall soon come, just as Lady Rubus foretold. The darkness thou servest shall not be suffered to thrive. He who is blessed with the power of the light shall see to that.
Amen.
A hero. Let him come. Let them all come. All shall suffer the same fate at my hand.
Whoa.
Majesty, might I suggest we take the princess, willingly or no? There is still much we might learn from her.
Those of your accursed ilk are ever presumptuous.
Of your accursed ilk.
Do as thou wilt. I have what I came for. Come, we return to the castle.
I wonder if he means monsters. Because he himself is not a monster. He's not a creature of darkness. He's a dragon. And dragons are like the heroes and leaders of the world. They will be like second to God.
Back, fiend! Away with thee!
Actually, I don't know what ranks higher.
Princess!
If Rubus ranks higher than the dragons, or if the dragons rank higher than Rubus in terms of this divine structure. Oh, and you can see that blue-haired guard. I don't think we ever get her name, but you can see her try to get up, try to regain her strength. And so, just as thou didst learn on thy travels, the sphere of light was taken from us, and my beloved daughter also. We have, of course, expanded every possible effort in our attempts to regain both, but we are unable to even approach that accursed isle which the fiends dwell. And though we did send a party of our finest soldiers to seek the princess all across the realm, months have passed, and still they have found naught. Majesty, please, I beg of thee, do not give up hope. Fool! Who art thou to speak of hope? Do I not dream every night of my darling daughter's safe return? But these are the dreams of a father, not of a king. As a king, I must think of my realm, of my world. And if manpower is to be expended, it must needs be expended on assailing that dread isle and returning the sphere of light to its rightful possessor. One of each. I fear I must ask yet more of thee. Wilt thou come to the aid of our cause once more? Of course I will. Full glad am I to hear it. I am in thy debt, good sir. Then I bid thee, follow in Erdrick's footsteps once more. Legends tell that the hero of old did travel without hindrance throughout the world by the means of 3 keys. I would have thee gather them. One of these, the thief's key, hath been discovered in the town of Galenholm. Hie he there and seek it out. Until we meet again, brave one of each, may fortune go with thee.